Rose Lynch, a committed member of the Continuity Irish Republican Army, became a controversial figure following her role in the murder of David Darcy in Dublin in November of 2011. Lynch's life and crimes highlight the enduring presence of dissident republicanism in Ireland, which continues to pose challenges to peace and security decades after the Good Friday Agreement. Welcome back to Crime Chronicles. Today we look at the life, crimes, and conviction of Irish Republican assassin Rose Lynch. Stay tuned as we look at how her early life shaped her political ideals, and how a romantic relationship was used to coerce her to commit murder. Very little is publicly known about Lynch's early life. What we do know is that Lynch grew up in a Republican household in Limerick. Her father, Joe "Tiny" Lynch, was the head of one faction of the Republican group Sinn Féin. By the time she became a member of the Continuity IRA, she had fully embraced the ideology and aims of this dissident Republican group. Police believe that Rose Lynch had been in an intense romantic relationship with Dermot Gannon, believed by authorities to be one of the leaders of the Continuity IRA. A senior police source stated that Lynch was totally besotted with Gannon. They were in a relationship for a considerable amount of time before the murder. The police source went on to say that she got to know him because Gannon spent a lot of time in Limerick, and he knew her father Joe very well. She fell for him completely, the source said. She was absolutely besotted. Gannon was the first person to be convicted of membership of an illegal organisation under the 1998 Offences Against the State Act, legislation that was enacted in the aftermath of the Omagh bombing. The Continuity IRA, formed in 1986 as a splinter faction of the Provisional IRA, emerged in response to disagreements over the Provisional IRA's shift towards political engagement. The group maintains a hardline stance, rejecting the legitimacy of the Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland governments and advocating for a united Ireland through armed struggle. The Continuity IRA, which Lynch fervently supported, is one of several dissident Republican groups that emerged following splits within the Irish Republican movement. The organisation traces its lineage back to the anti-treaty IRA and considers itself the legitimate successor to the original Irish Republican Army. This claim to legitimacy fuels its continued militancy and rejection of political solutions, including the peace process initiated by the Good Friday Agreement in 1998. The group has carried out numerous attacks over the years, including bombings, shootings, and punishment beatings. While its membership is relatively small, estimates suggest fewer than 50 core activists in recent decades. The Continuity IRA's activities have had an outsized impact on security and stability in Ireland. Its operations aim to challenge the legitimacy of the Irish and British governments, disrupt peace efforts, and maintain pressure for a united Ireland. Lynch, who referred to herself as an IRA volunteer, was deeply committed to the Continuity IRA's goals. Her loyalty to the organisation was evident during police interrogations after her arrest, where she stated she would die that way. This unwavering dedication reflects the influence and power of Republican ideology in shaping the lives of its adherents. On the morning of November 28th of 2011, David Darcy, a 39-year-old father of two, was shot dead outside his home in Ballyfermot, Dublin, as he prepared to leave for work. Lynch later admitted to the crime, claiming she believed Darcy was connected to the murder of Liam Kenny, a senior figure in the Dublin branch of the Continuity IRA. Kenny had been killed in September of 2011, a suspected target of rival criminal elements. Lynch's decision to kill Darcy stemmed from a misguided sense of retribution. Acting on incorrect information, she planned and executed the murder with precision. Witnesses reported that Lynch used both a handgun and a shotgun in the attack, leaving Darcy with no chance of survival. Her act of vigilantism, carried out in broad daylight, sent shockwaves through the community and drew condemnation from law enforcement and public officials. Following the murder, the Irish police launched a thorough investigation, piecing together evidence and eyewitness accounts. Lynch's arrest was a significant breakthrough. During questioning, she openly identified herself as a member of the IRA and took full responsibility for the killing. Her lack of remorse and continued allegiance to the organization were noted throughout the investigation. Despite Lynch's confession, authorities believed she had an accomplice during the murder. However, evidence directly linking another individual to the crime remained elusive. The Continuity IRA, in a statement following the murder, described the act as a military operation, targeting a criminal drugs gang, allegedly connected to Kenny's death. These claims were categorically refuted by Detective Inspector Colm O'Malley, who emphasised that David Darcy was an innocent man with no involvement in criminal activities. Lynch's trial began in 2013, drawing significant public attention. The court heard details of her involvement in the Continuity IRA and her motivations for the murder. Once again, Lynch admitted to her membership in the organisation and her role in the killing, but offered no remorse or apology for her actions. The court found Lynch guilty of the premeditated murder of David Darcy. In April of 2013, she was sentenced to life imprisonment. The judge also imposed additional concurrent sentences for firearms offences and membership in the Real IRA, another dissident Republican group. The sentencing highlighted the severity of her crimes and served as a warning to others engaged in similar activities. Lynch's case underscores the dangers posed by vigilantism and the challenges faced by law enforcement in combating dissident Republican groups. During the trial, evidence was presented that Rose was on her way to kill another innocent man, Ballyfermot boxer Ian Timms, when she was intercepted by armed officers a fortnight after she murdered Mr. Darcy. Police investigations established that the Continuity IRA had plotted to kill 6 people as part of a twisted show of strength, and Lynch was enlisted to carry out all the murders. Lynch's conviction illustrates the persistence of hardline Republican ideologies among a minority in Ireland. Despite significant progress in the peace process, groups like the Continuity IRA continue to reject political engagement and pursue violent means to achieve their goals. Lynch's involvement in the Continuity IRA also brings attention to the role of women in paramilitary organizations. While discussions about such groups often focus on male participants, women have historically played active roles in both operational and supportive capacities. The Continuity IRA and similar groups continue to reject the political solutions embraced by the majority of Irish Republicans, perpetuating violence and division. By fostering dialogue, understanding, and cooperation, it is possible to build a more peaceful and inclusive society where such tragedies can be prevented. Thank you for joining us today on Crime Chronicles. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the channel with your friends.